I went on the same dating reality show with my wife. The catch? She's a top actress, and I'm just a D-list celebrity. Her secret husband hidden in the shadows. During the live stream, old habits betrayed me. Without thinking, I called out, "Willow, I want some water." The audience hadn't even caught the slip before one of the trending pretty boys on the show laughed at me, dripping with sarcasm. Some people really think they're the husband of a best actress. Why don't you make it public then? In horror, I covered his mouth. Did he want to get himself killed? He didn't understand. My refusal to go public about Willow wasn't some casual decision. That was her sore spot, her wound. And sure enough, the very next day, that pretty boy vanished from the internet, completely banned. But then he reappeared on a live stream, disheveled, eyes swollen from crying. "Wife," he pleaded to Willow through the camera, "I've been cyberbullied like this, and you still won't admit us to the world?" His trump card? A marriage certificate. And the names on it were his and Willow's. That was chapter 1. I'd actually been the one to send Willow the first message, the invitation from my agent for this dating reality show. Less than 3 seconds later, she called me. Her voice was sharp, half whining, half panicked. "Honey, what kind of trashy show is this? If you join it, will you still love me?" I was stunned. Wasn't she supposed to be at an award ceremony? How was she answering this quickly? Rubbing at my temples, I sighed and explained gently, "Darling, don't ask me questions like that in the future. If anything changes, I'll let you know." She went quiet on the other end. I seized the moment. It's just a fun gig, really. I'll treat it like slacking off and earning some quick cash. The real star of the show is that trending pretty boy, not me. Her assistant was already ushering her on stage, and the line cut. But that evening, when she came home, she tossed a script onto the coffee table, the exact same dating reality show. She leaned into me, her voice syrupy sweet. "Honey, everyone else is going there to find love. Why don't you take this chance to make our marriage public?" I gave her a long look, but said nothing. Wasn't her idea in the first place to keep things hidden? But now, maybe it didn't matter anymore. I focused on the script and said lightly, "If you're really eager to go public, maybe you should pair up with someone else on the show." Her face went cold. Without a word, she pulled out her phone, tapped furiously, and within seconds my own phone buzzed. A notification. "Your order of an RTX 5090 graphics card is on the way." I froze. Then I threw my laptop aside, plastered on my professional smile, and leaned toward her. "Sweetheart, I'm sorry. That was my bad attitude. Anything you want, you can have, except making it public." The next morning, I limped out of the house with my back sore from reconciliation. Willow, ever caring, reminded the butler to make nourishing soup for me. I rolled my eyes. The poor man was about to dump half the herbal shop into one pot. I slipped out quietly, dragging my suitcase uphill because I didn't want the butler's luxury car to draw attention. By the time I reached the villa entrance, sweat was dripping down my back. That's when I heard it. "George, how did you end up like this, carrying your suitcase by yourself?" I looked up, and of course, it was Makoto. We debuted the same year, had the same style, the same dreams. But now, he was a trending star. I was still just a D-lister. But you know what? Being a D-list celebrity has its perks. Freedom. No one expects anything from you. So I smiled and shot back, "At least I'm still human. But you, what even is this pretty boy thing? Since when did you become a thing?" Makoto choked on his words, unable to explain. The director, watching from the sidelines, jumped in quickly to rescue him from the awkwardness. Soon, the show officially began. It wasn't just pre-recorded, it was live. A dating reality show with fixed hours every day. Bullet comments flashed on our smartwatches in real time, the audience never sleeping. The director paired me with a female guest. She wasn't striking, just another low-tier celebrity. She introduced herself as Maria, smiling politely, and immediately offered help. When I carried my luggage, she helped. When I cooked, she passed me plates. By the time the food was ready, the bowls and chopsticks were already lined up neatly on the table. The comments went wild. "Maria is so sweet. I'm becoming her fan already. Look at this hidden gem. George's camera angle is literally boyfriend POV. He's too lucky. But the moment filming wrapped, Maria dropped her act. She shook off my hand with disgust and sneered. Ugh, what bad luck. Why did I get paired with some D-list nobody? I froze, caught off guard by the sudden shift. She gave me a once-over, her voice dripping with disdain. Let me warn you, don't go catching feelings just because of this show. I have over 6,000 followers, and on face scoring apps, I'm an 8. 9, I'm the future of the industry. And you? You'll never be in my league. She turned to walk away, but I wasn't about to let that slide. Hold up, big sister. I looked her up and down, my voice sharp now, carrying just enough bite to cut. I read your bio. 8 years of acting. Less than 2 minutes of screen time in total. And of that, 1 minute and 49 seconds without even showing your face. I smirked, leaning back slightly. Me? A so-called D-lister? I've had 11 more seconds of actual screen time than you. So tell me, where exactly do you get the nerve to call yourself the new generation of stars? That was chapter 2. Maria's mask finally cracked. With her voice sharp as a knife, she spat, Starlet? Please. I'm the rising face of a new generation. You're a joke. I let out a cold laugh, released her collar, clapped my hands together, and turned to leave. To insult someone and then walk away? No, I wasn't about to hand her that satisfaction. That was chapter 3. When filming picked up again that evening, I gave Maria no more face than she deserved. On camera, I made her do all the heavy lifting, the dirty work, the chores, the things no starlet wanted to touch. And she endured it all with a bright smile, keeping up her fragile illusion of being gentle and considerate. But the bullet comments? They didn't spare me. Why is this guy treating Maria like a servant? She's working so hard. I just want to protect my goddess. Such bad vibes. Who does he think he is, acting all high and mighty? When the camera stopped rolling, Maria's face turned as dark as the bottom of a burnt pot. She leaned close and hissed, 2 more episodes. Just wait until I get popular, George. You'll regret this. I dug at my ear as if swatting away a fly. Her threats meant nothing. Episode 2 began with a group activity, a shopping trip to the Imperial Capital's most extravagant mall, Orange Cat Star Trade Mall. The task was simple, buy gifts for one another. But the moment I arrived, I froze. Orange Cat, my mall, a piece of my fortune. Was my carefully hidden identity about to be exposed right here, under the cameras? Before I could step inside, Makoto swooped in, his voice loud enough for the entire crew. George, why are you standing around like that? First time here? Makes sense. You're the type who licks the yogurt lid for leftovers. No way you could afford this place. I ignored him, but he wasn't done. From his bag, he pulled out a sleek black gold card, holding it up like a trophy. Not gonna lie, this was given to me personally by Orange Cat's vice president. There are fewer than 50 worldwide. Even the wealthiest clients can't buy one. The VP considers me family. Gave it to me as a greeting gift. Without it, I wouldn't dare walk around here. I almost laughed. The current CEO of Orange Cat was me, and that so-called vice president? Willow's sister. If she considered him family, then what exactly did that make me? The other guests instantly surrounded Makoto, dazzled. Within this show, he was already the golden boy. And now, with the supposed connection to Orange Cat, everyone rushed to curry favor. Even the director's voice grew soft and flattering. Then we'll trouble Mr. Makoto to lead us in and broaden our horizons. Makoto straightened his collar, smug, and handed the card to the receptionist. Cameras zoomed in and the audience buzzed. Holy crap, that's the Orange Cat Black Gold card. Confirmed, Makoto's a real second-gen rich kid. Ugh, so jealous. He's living like a main character in a novel. The receptionist, flustered, scanned the card and guided the group into the boss's private VIP elevator. But with too many people crammed inside, the alarm blared, overloaded. From the back, Makoto sneered. George, you're the most unnecessary here. Step out. Before I could speak, the others pushed me out. I hadn't wanted to squeeze in any way. I waited calmly for the next ride. That's when a waiter strode up, chin high. "Sir," without a black gold card, "you're not allowed to use this elevator. There's a fire escape at the back. You can take the stairs." Expressionless, I gave him a side glance. No card means no elevator? Doesn't this mall have a regular guest entrance at the back? The waiter faltered, caught off guard that I knew the layout so well. His fake smile fell away, replaced with cold arrogance. "Apologies, sir. After evaluation, I've determined you're not worthy of my service." I nodded slowly. "Then go call your manager." He smirked, unmoving. I couldn't help but laugh. "Fine. Enough of this low-profile act." I pulled out my phone and dialed Willow's sister. "Alicia, could you come to Orange Cat for a moment?" The waiter sneered at my words, until Alicia's Bentley rolled up to the entrance. Staff scrambled, rushing to open the door for her. She stepped out gracefully, and the moment she spotted me, she hurried over. "Brother-in-law, why are you outside instead of inside?" I shrugged, came to film a show. Apparently, I wasn't allowed in. At that moment, the mall manager arrived, sweat dripping as he bowed. "President, if we'd known you were coming, we would have prepared properly. The staff didn't know. It's our fault entirely." I chuckled coldly. "Manager Gene, it's always so hard to catch you. But today, I finally did." Then I turned to the waiter, smiling faintly. "So, can I take the elevator now?" The manager's face went pale. He slapped the waiter hard across the face. "You dare make things difficult for your own boss? Who gave you the courage?" The waiter was stunned, too shaken even to feel the sting of the slap. His voice trembled. He's the boss?" Alicia, still furious, snapped, "Kick him out," and blacklist him across the entire Orange Cat group. The waiter's legs gave out beneath him, collapsing in shock. The manager nodded like a bobblehead, terrified that displeasing me or Alicia would be the end of him. Alicia handed the black gold card back to the manager, who respectfully guided us to the elevator. As I glanced at the card again, something clicked. I turned to her. "Alicia, do you know Makoto?" Her brow furrowed. "Who? Never heard of him." I laughed out loud. "But he said you gave him that black gold card as a gift for your brother-in-law." Alicia's laugh was sharp, cutting through the air. "That shabby card? As a brother-in-law gift? What kind of ignorant toad dares to use my name for clout?" Alicia's patience snapped. Fuming, she stormed straight into the elevator and barked orders at the manager. "Gene, find those people and tell them our George won't be filming this trash anymore. And while you're at it, investigate where that ridiculous card even came from." I hesitated, but Alicia nudged me with a smile that left no room for protest. "Come on, Big Sister will take you shopping. And don't worry about any penalty fees. I'll cover it." Truth be told, it wasn't the money that concerned me. The truth was simpler. The production crew had never planned to keep me. Not once had they called. Not once had they checked in. Walking away cost me nothing. So I let Alicia pull me along. But just as we stepped out, she turned back and added one last command. "And Gene, handle Makoto. If my crazy younger sister finds out about this mess, she'll blame me for not protecting her sweetheart." I pressed a hand to my temple, frustration simmering. She was right. This was something Willow could never know. We wandered the mall for a while, Alicia pointing out shops with her usual authority. But soon her assistant called her away for a meeting, and she left as quickly as she'd come. No sooner had her heels clicked out of sight than noise erupted at the mall entrance. A crowd, raised voices. I turned, and there they were, the production crew. Makoto spotted me instantly. His eyes blazed as he lunged forward, shouting past the guards who held him back. "George, you bastard! You colluded with the manager, didn't you? How dare you say my gold card is fake?" Manager Gene, ever composed, stood at his side. "Mr. Makoto, we've explained many times. The machine has verified it repeatedly. Your card is indeed fake." The cameras were already shut down. The crew, faces grim, whisper amongst themselves. What a disgrace in front of everyone. He hasn't even made it, but insists on pretending. Who's he trying to fool? Makoto heard them too, his face twisted with rage. You're all spouting nonsense. That card was given to me personally by the Orange Cat boss. Her identity can't be revealed, so she let me use her sister's name instead. Just wait, my wife will be joining the 3rd episode. Once she goes public with me, you'll all be eating your words. The director paled. Willow's appearance was supposed to be top secret. Only he knew. And now, with Alicia's name thrown into the mix, anyone with half a brain could piece together who Makoto meant. My chest tightened. I'd always known Willow carried a flame for her so-called first love, but hearing Makoto's certainty, a thought clawed its way into my mind. Could it be was he the one? That was Chapter 4. When I returned to the villa, the atmosphere had shifted. Maria, once cold and dismissive, was now circling Makoto like a moth to flame. She poured his tea, adjusted his cushion, laughed at every word. 2 other female guests joined in, their attention glued to him. The live stream chat lit up. This morning the cameras cut off after manager showed up. Anyone know what really happened? Insider tip, Makoto's black gold card was fake. No way. That can't be true. Don't spread lies. Didn't you see how the production team treats him? Makoto can't be fake. If anyone's faking, it's George. He's just jealous and stirring up trouble. I looked over at Makoto. He basked in the attention, shameless, acting the part of the misunderstood star. Don't just focus on me, he said smoothly. You should pay attention to the other guys, too. I'm only here to make up the numbers. If you dote on me like this, my wife, no, my partner, might get jealous. That slip of the tongue was all it took. Did he just say wife by accident? Oh, my Makoto is such a treasure. So loyal. Who is she? Is she in the industry? Hot scoop. My brother-in-law's friend works at Orange Cat. Said Makoto's identity as the boss was revealed today. No wonder he had that black gold card. It's because he's the boss. Then the real question is, who's the boss's wife? I sipped my milk tea, reading the frenzy of speculation. The irony was almost sweet. The boss they worshipped was me, but this wasn't the time to tear Makoto down. Not yet. If he really was Willow's old flame, I'd need proof, evidence, enough to secure a bigger share when the truth came crashing down. So I pulled out my phone and sent Willow a text. Miss you. Come quick. Her reply came instantly, hundreds of exclamation marks, followed by a voice call that could have melted stone. I declined it with a blank face. That evening, the director tried to lighten the mood with a game of truth or dare. The rule was simple. Call the person pinned at the top of your WeChat. One by one, the others played along. Some called parents, some agents, some fellow stars. Laughter, cheers, safe answers. Until, George, it's your turn. Makoto's voice cut through the air. He'd won this round, and everyone's eyes turned on me. Since the morning's humiliation, they'd all taken his side. Now they were eager, desperate, to see me fall flat. Sure, I said evenly. Opening WeChat, I tilted the screen toward the camera. And there it was, glaring back in bold letters. Willow. The bullet comments exploded. Willow? As in the Willow? She's a top actress. Of course she has lots of contacts. But pinned at the top? That's definitely clout chasing. LMAO, George would do anything for attention. Makoto burst out laughing. Your pinned contact is Willow? Ha. Have you even looked in the mirror? I pressed the call button, cutting him off. You talk too much nonsense. The line connected almost instantly, but the voice that answered wasn't Willow's. Mr. Wong. Madam is busy. No, that was Chapter 5. Willow's agent picked up the call. Willow is busy right now. Anything I should pass along? I already knew the truth. She crammed all her work into a few brutal days just so she could free herself to join me on this show. Exhaustion was written all over her schedule. A pang of guilt hit me. I lowered my voice. Nothing important. Just tell her to focus on her work. In my head, though, another thought lingered. The more she earned now, the more there would be to divide later. The call ended. Almost instantly, Makoto's voice cut through, sharp with mockery. Hilarious. Even Willow doesn't want to deal with you. She had her agent block the call. But not everyone was convinced. Sharp-eyed viewers caught the slip. Wait, didn't the agent almost say Mrs. Liu just now? Get real. There's no way a D-list like George could ever be Willow's husband. Impossible. Makoto's going too far with the mocking, though. Too far? Please. He's right. Willow's at the top of the industry. George is obviously leeching off her. Who wouldn't be annoyed? I was ready to clap back, but the director swooped in, steering us back to the game. Cameras rolled just long enough to pad the runtime, then shut down for the day. As I packed my things, Makoto blocked my way. His eyes glinted. George, why do you have Willow's WeChat? I didn't even look up. I had no interest in engaging, but he pressed on, needling for a reaction. So I gave him one. Calm, deliberate. I don't just have her WeChat. I have her home address. I even know what she's wearing today. You jealous yet? Because the truth was simple. Willow had been so worn out the night before that she couldn't even dress herself this morning. I had put her clothes on for her. That wasn't a boast. It was fact. Makoto's face went crimson, eyes bulging with rage. You're just a creepy stalker fan. Just wait. Willow's coming tomorrow. I'll have her announce our relationship publicly. Once she does, you'll be drowned by both our fan bases. But I didn't flinch. Legally, I was her husband, certificate and all. If he went public, he'd only brand himself the homewrecker. I smiled, easy and unbothered. Then I wish you the best of luck. The next morning, Willow arrived. Even with sunglasses hiding her face, the crowd erupted like a tidal wave. The production crew froze in shock. It's really Willow. Who on earth pulled this off? She never accepts variety shows. Sure, I heard she requested to come herself this time. Could it be because of Makoto? The bullet comments flooded in. No way. Am I dreaming? Willow on a dating reality show. Goddess wife. She's obviously pairing with Makoto. Who else could it be? The director began assigning positions. From a distance, Willow spotted me. Her red lips curved into the faintest smile. Before I could move, Makoto, standing at my side, stiff in his perfectly waxed hair and couture suit, lifted his hand. Willow. But the moment she removed her sunglasses, her gaze cut straight through him and landed on me. She started forward, only to be stopped by staff. I caught her eyes and gave a small, steady signal. Calm down. Play along. Willow froze where she stood, but her eyes clung to me, brimming with grievance. Is Willow staring at Makoto right now? He looks so good today. Wait! Doesn't look like she's actually staring past him? At that guy behind? What's his name again, George? Stop with that nonsense. It's Makoto. Always Makoto. The director moved things along quickly. The plan was simple. A trip to the suburbs for a barbecue, and in the evening, the couples would be reshuffled. The men and women rode in separate cars. Willow slipped into hers, looking back at me with every step. I lifted a hand, a small wave, asking her to relax. On the road, the cameras were off. My phone buzzed. A message from Willow lit up the screen. I miss you, hubby. Sob, sob. I want a big hug from my hubby. I couldn't help but laugh and shot back a cold meme of me pushing someone away. Within seconds, she cracked. Why? Why can't I hug my hubby openly? Before I could reply, tension erupted in the front seats. Makoto again. His suit was too delicate, he complained. Sitting on a hard seat might ruin it. With no assistant in this car, he turned to the newest male guest and demanded he take off his jacket to cover the seat. The newcomer refused, humiliated. Makoto tried to snatch it anyway. I stepped in. My voice was sharp, cutting. Don't go too far. If you can't afford to ruin it, don't wear clothes worth more than you are. Makoto exploded. Mind your own damn business. If I want it, he has to give it. But outnumbered, his hand slipped from the jacket. Grinding his teeth, he hissed, Fine. Once this show's over, I'll see you both kicked out of the industry. I shrugged, casual as ever. Go ahead. I'll be waiting. By the time we reached the village and the cameras flickered back on, Makoto had already shifted gears. He turned to male guest he'd just humiliated, bowing his head in apology. "Sorry, I accidentally tugged your clothes earlier. I hope you won't take it to heart." His performance was flawless. The bullet comments poured in with praise. Meanwhile, the rest of us sat in silence, speechless. Just as I was about to call Makoto out, the van carrying the female guests pulled in, and in the blink of an eye, there she was. Willow. She walked straight past the cameras, right to my side, her coat draped casually as cover while her hand slipped into mine behind her back. I glanced down. Her eyes sparkled with a joy she could hardly contain. And the bullet comments lit up instantly. Wait, why does our Ice Queen goddess look so happy today? Why do George and Willow look so perfect together? Honestly, I agree. The more I watch, the more Makoto feels off. George just feels natural. It wasn't until the director finished rattling off tasks that Willow finally let go of my hand. Reluctant. "Let's go wash the vegetables together." Why? The word wife almost slipped out, and I caught it mid-breath. Willow. She laughed, bright, amused, and the comments went wild. "Ah, so cute. I'm shipping them right now." Willow looked so badass and doting. So maybe George really is close to her. That would explain why she's pinned at the top of his WeChat. Later, while everyone busied themselves with dinner prep, I stepped away to fetch more ingredients. And when I turned back, I froze. Makoto had wedged himself right beside Willow. The suburban wind bit cold, but still he clung to that ridiculous haute couture suit. Impractical, uncomfortable. He leaned toward her anyway. "Willow, let me help you wash the vegetables." Her face hardened instantly. She turned on her heel without a word. Makoto chased after her. "Then what else do you need to do? I'll keep you company." The viewers noticed too. Is this guy seriously not seeing she doesn't want him around? Did Makoto say he had a wife? Maybe they're keeping their distance on purpose. No, this is scripted. The top actress suddenly being chummy with George has to be fake. Makoto's fans clung to that story, but Willow's every glance betrayed the truth. She stuck to me, avoided him like he was contagious. And still, part of me wondered, could this clingy fool really be the first love she once clung to so desperately? Night settled in, a cool breeze sweeping across the park. Everyone gathered around the grill. I draped a blanket over Willow's shoulders, rolled up my sleeves, and tended the meat. Makoto, now in a change of clothes, forced himself onto the seat beside her. I clipped a piece of meat, blew on it, tasted it. It's cooked. A little hot, though. Then I set it gently in Willow's dish to cool. But before she could touch it, Makoto's chopsticks darted in, snatching the piece and tossing it into his mouth. The chatter around us froze. Even the air seemed to pause. I frowned. Did this man have no shame? Makoto carried on as if nothing had happened, even reaching for her coat. "Willow, it's cold. Let me put this on you." She yanked it back, sharp as a whip. "Get lost." Then patted it, as though to wipe off his touch. Still, he pressed on with that fake suitor's charm. "Girls shouldn't be so fierce. Tell you what, let me sip from your water bottle, and we'll call it even, okay?" Before she could react, he twisted it open and drank. Willow's face darkened. I saw her hand twitch, ready to slap him across the face. Cameras be damned. I cut in fast. "Willow, I want hot water." She set the blanket down at once, marched off, and returned moments later with my blue thermos in hand. Her long legs drew every eye as she crossed back to me. Makoto sneered, dripping venom. "TSK, some people really think they're the actress's husband. If you're so great, why didn't you go public?" Shock jolted through me. I clamped my hand over his mouth before he could spit out another word. Did he have a death wish? That was the one line Willow couldn't stand, the one truth she kept buried deepest. And right now, she was already a breath away from exploding. Sure enough, the very next day, the verdict came down. Makoto was blacklisted across the entire internet. The show halted production, his contract was severed, and he was slapped with a penalty so massive it left his fans speechless. Chapter 8. Wait, what? Did I time travel? I wake up, and the pretty boy is already banned. Breaking news. Rumor is the film queen herself ordered it. He offended Willow. Hold up. Wasn't it just yesterday people swore the two were secretly married? Are they actually hidden enemies? Holy crap. Makoto just went live. Everyone, click in. I glanced at Willow. She was on the phone, coolly ordering his downfall in real time. Curiosity tugged at me, and I tapped into a stream. The man on screen looked wrecked, bed hair messy, eyes red, exhaustion dragging his features down. His voice trembled. I was framed. Someone seduced my wife and forced her to blacklist me. I don't want to live anymore. The comments exploded. Wait, his wife? Don't tell me he's talking about Willow. Then who's the seducer? Isn't it George? Don't be fooled. There's no proof. Exactly. Show evidence or shut up. I thought the backlash would silence him, but instead, he leaned closer to the lens, sighing dramatically. I didn't want to be so high profile. Just when I thought Makoto had run out of tricks, he leaned back in his chair, sighed, and said with that dramatic flair of his, "Since you're all so curious, I guess I'll just have to satisfy your curiosity." I braced myself for whatever nonsense he was about to spin, then froze. Because on the live stream, Makoto slowly reached under the table and pulled out a marriage certificate. 2 names were printed on it, his and Willow's. The internet erupted. Bullet comments flew like fireworks across the screen. But me? I just smirked. My eyes never left his little performance, while right behind me, Willow, still on the phone, was trembling with cold fury. Her knuckles had gone white around her phone. The icy aura radiating off her was enough to silence anyone in the room. And me? I only sneered inwardly. That so-called marriage certificate? Please. Probably bought off some shady site for a few dollars. Makoto had just signed his own death warrant. Makoto thought he was clever, pulling off a self-directed drama to paint himself as the victim. But he had no idea. He just stepped on Willow's biggest landmine. At first, his punishment might have been light. A ban, a breach penalty, some embarrassment online. But thanks to Willow, things escalated into something far more dangerous. Her voice turned sharp, each word slicing through the air like ice. With rapid-fire commands, she ordered a full investigation into Makoto's past. And in that instant, I knew he was finished. Because no struggling actor, no fading starlet, no bottom feeder who clawed his way into fame could ever survive that kind of deep dig. Sure enough, within 30 minutes, stacks of files landed on Willow's desk. I skimmed through a few. Middle school, publicly shamed for being a homewrecker. High school, caught cheating on exams. College, side hustles gaming with rich women for money. Every ugly detail laid bare. I couldn't help but marvel. Willow had pulled all this in half an hour. Usually, managers scrub records clean, polish their stars until they shine. But under Willow's command, the dirt came crawling back into daylight. And still, Makoto clung to her name, leeching off her fame, thinking he could twist her into a storyline. He'd set himself on fire, and then wondered why it burned. Willow skimmed one file, her face carved from ice, then gave the order. Release the content of attachment 4 and 11. No need for water armies. He wanted attention? Then let's give him all he asked for. I glanced at those attachments, and whatever pity I had left for Makoto vanished. Attachment 4. He posed as an agent and livestream host, selling fraudulent skincare, pocketing 85% in commission. Attachment 11. Multiple victims. Faces scarred for life. Reviews suppressed. Complaints silenced. Some of those kids, they spiraled into depression. This wasn't just arrogance. This was cruelty. I thought that was the end of it. But then the fire turned toward me. After handling everything, Willow leaned over and pushed me gently onto the sofa. Her hair fell across my shoulders, carrying that faint pine fragrance of hers. Fresh, clean, like winter sunlight. But in her eyes, there was fire, possessiveness, a storm I couldn't calm. Before I could react, her lips pressed to mine, fierce and unrelenting. Panic jolted through me. Willow, stop. We're still filming. Someone might come in. But she didn't care. One hand cradled the back of my neck, deepening the kiss. Her voice trembled, almost pleading. "George, let's go public." The word struck me like thunder. I remembered once begging her for the same thing, and she had turned me down. This time, I cupped her face, my voice colder than I meant it to be. "Why?" That question had always been my thorn. She lowered her head, brushed a kiss against my forehead with reverence, as though I were some treasure beyond her reach. "Because the Willow you love, she's finally a film queen now. She's finally worthy of you." And just like that, I understood. My girl, she'd been fighting all this time, not for the world, but for me. A laugh slipped out, tangled with a tear. I wrapped my arms around her waist. "Fool, you've always been worthy." This time, I kissed her back. And right then, the door opened. The other guests, the crew, everyone saw us. But Willow didn't care. She'd planned this from the start. Her little scheme to show the world I belonged to her. And me, I let her, because she's my wife. And I'll indulge her forever. The room fell into stunned silence. Guests, staff, every single one frozen. The dating show, paused because of Makoto, resumed recording that very night. Why? Because Willow, the sponsor who had invested $20 million, said so. Only then did she rise, slow and graceful, her expression soft as water. She leaned against me, voice steady, and dropped a bomb that shattered the entire set. "George is actually my husband. We've been married for 2 years." The director, quick to seize a moment, pressed on. "Then why announce it now?" Willow didn't flinch. I wanted to tell the world earlier, but my schedule was too full. This was my only chance. The international film queen, the goddess of countless fans, now leaning against me openly, her eyes brimming with affection. "I've kept you waiting too long, my Mr. Wong." I smiled, heartful. "It's fine, my Miss Willow." The internet lost its mind. What about Makoto's marriage certificate? It's fake, obviously. He scammed people with fake products, ruined faces. Now he's ruined himself. Breaking, Makoto's already been arrested. Endless lawsuits await him. And in that chaotic storm, I clear my throat, grounding us all. These past days with everyone have been wonderful. Don't feel burdened, because the truth was out. And finally, we didn't have to hide anymore. "Just continue filming as usual," I said with a small smile. "It's just that for tonight's pairing. Willow and I will be together." The room erupted with laughter and applause. Willow slipped her arm around mine, holding on as if she'd just won something far more precious than any trophy or award. Her radiant smile shone brighter than the spotlights, and in that moment, the cheers felt like the world itself blessing us. I'm crying. This broken world owes me a Willow. She's too beautiful. I can't handle it. Am I the only one whose heart just broke? Same, but it's so sweet. I'll take the sugar anyway. The next few episodes turned into nothing short of a sugar-drenched highlight reel. Every glance, every touch between Willow and me became the centerpiece. Help! The way Willow looks at George is pure love. You must be new here. Us longtime viewers, we're already used to it. But as more eyes turned toward me, the truth came out. My identity as the big boss of the Orange Cat Group was exposed. Footage even surfaced of my confrontation with Makoto outside Orange Cat headquarters. Online, the verdict was unanimous. People scolded him for his arrogance, for clinging to power while trampling on the weak. Meanwhile, they marveled at how I, despite being the head of a massive conglomerate, had kept such a low profile. Makoto, on the other hand, was now branded a pariah. More scandals surfaced by the hour, lawsuits piled up, and his name became synonymous with disgrace. He had dug his own grave, and now he had a lie in it. Willow didn't even have to lift a finger. One evening, Willow curled into me as we rewatched a livestream replay. She was calm until a comment flashed on screen. George is always clout-chasing off Willow. In an instant, she sat up, fire in her eyes. I reached out, patting her head gently. "Wife, it's fine." But Willow pressed herself tighter against my shoulder, lifted her phone, and with a decisive click, snapped a picture. "What are you up to?" I asked. A second later, She showed me the post she'd just made. On her social media, most favorite thing to chase, my husband. Underneath, the photo she'd just taken of me. Within moments, the comments exploded, thousands of fans crying over her sudden display of affection. I pinched her cheek, half amused, half helpless. Childish, aren't you? She buried her face against my chest, her voice muffled but firm. Not childish. I just can't let anyone bully you. The dating show soon drew to a close. At the wrap-up party, Willow wasn't there. Work had pulled her away. I pulled out my phone, thinking to call her, and noticed something I hadn't before. At the top of my pinned chats, the name gleamed back at me. Dearest lovely wife. My phone, my account. But when had Willow changed it to that? I hesitated, thumb hovering over the call button. Finally, with a deep breath, I pressed voice call. My face burned with embarrassment as I stumbled over the words. Dearest lovely wife, what time are you coming to pick me up? From the other end, the sound of a bustling conference filled the background, followed by the one thing that made my heart ease instantly. Willow's laughter, clear and unrestrained. I'm coming, hubby. Mua.